Hello and welcome to the Charles River Conservancy Parkland show. My name is Renata von Tscharner. I'm the president of the Charles River Conservancy, and we're talking about those wonderful urban parklands that belong to all of us, and they're managed by the Department of Conservation and Recreation. And today we're talking about a very special celebration to celebrate the beginning of fall, the autumnal equinox. And this celebration takes place on the 23rd of September. And we have with us here George Emlen, the musical director of Revels. And this is a great reveling, and we will hear George tell us about it. But let me first put things a little bit in context of how, where this celebration takes place and how it all fits into the work of the Charles River Conservancy. Pretty much in the middle of this map is the Weeks Bridge. I might be able to use a little mouse here. Here is the Weeks Bridge. And that's where the celebration takes place, but it actually starts in Harvard Square as a parade coming here. And the river sing and the celebration of the river is very much part of what the Conservancy's goal is to make people fall in love with the river. And we do that with, by having people landscape the river. We have 2,000 volunteers who come and help us. We actually see the Weeks Bridge here. It's the one in the middle. And so we do landscaping with our volunteers. And River Sing was also intended to contribute to making people see the beauty of this river, the beauty of the landscape, to sit there on the grass and sing and see the river. So there are different ways of celebrating the river. One, of course, is having a seasonal celebration. One is to go and work as a landscaper, to plant bulbs, to prune trees, to paint the benches. All these things are done by the Conservancy. We also support a lot of active uses in the parklands. You might have heard about the skateboarding park we are building under the Zaken Bridge, or we are working on bringing back swimming to the Charles River. We're helping to improve the pathways along the river and make it easier and safer to travel along those pathways. We bring Sunday games to the parklands. We bring yoga to the parklands. So all kinds of activities to make the parklands more special, and we work on all that with the Department of Conservation and Recreation. But now let's get to the bridges and how it all started. It started actually in December 2001. That is a picture from 2001 when we first illuminated the bridges to bring light to the river, light to the bridges. And then we started to add music, and this is the Weeks Bridge. And first it was on the bridge, and now the celebration is next to the Weeks Bridge. So here is the date. It was September 3rd in Harvard Square at 6 p.m. at the Weeks Bridge. But now let me give the word to George to tell us of how you plan Revels, what's the spirit of River Sing, and how the two come together.
Well, yeah, you had a great thing going, I think, Renata, when you started lighting the bridges and bringing musicians in. And we joined you in 2004, I believe.
Yeah.
Because we always wanted to celebrate the fall, and we weren't quite sure how to do it. We love celebration at Revels. Our big Christmas production, the Christmas Revels, celebrates the winter solstice, and we have something in the summer solstice usually that we can celebrate. We also have a spring sing around March 23rd, right around the spring equinox. So this was very important. This was the one time of the year we didn't have anything that we could really grab a hold of that was a good public event where we could really celebrate the turning point of the year when summer goes into fall.
Well, you certainly have captured it now, and thousands of people come and celebrate with you now.
It was a great collaboration because you already had this idea going, and we seized a hold of it, and we brought our interests together. So that was perfect for us. We just, as I said, love celebration. We think people love to gather. We think people love to sing together. You give them the right circumstances, a beautiful environment, and a great set of songs, and the right kind of accompaniment and leadership, and they'll do it.
They do it.
People just love to sing.
Yes, and now you start here in Harvard Square because a lot of families are in Harvard Square, and tell us then of how you move on from there.
Beginning at 5 o'clock in Winthrop Park, we have a band, one of the New Orleans-style so-called honk bands. This would be Second Line Social Aid and Pleasure Society brass band, making a lot of good music up there in the park. And finally, at 5:45, we start out down Boylston Street, headed towards the river, and there we are, all trooping along, puppets, stilt walkers, people just noise making as we head down to the river. It's a great moment. So that's where it all begins. And by the time you get to the river, some of these people will go right up on the stage and be the River Sing chorus. But most people will just, as you see right there, sit out on the grass or stand on the grass. And we have programs for everybody, so they all have the words to all the songs. It does get dark, so I think it's always a good idea to bring a flashlight.
Yeah.
So it looks pretty bright right now, but you know, sunset occurs right in the middle of our event.
At 6:34, I believe.
6:34, right about
like
there.
That, yes.
And so as it gets darker, it's always nice to have a little supplementary light. But there we are, singing away to familiar songs, and we have a terrific band that consisting of fiddle, bass, and guitar. We have some wonderful butterflies that float around. I'm not sure you'll see them in these photos.
We'll see them later at the end in a little
that's
video.
Right. That's right. Mm-hmm.
And the band is here, and all the children dancing, and the boats go by. It's a very happy atmosphere.
That's right. We're down on the banks. We started, as you said, on the bridge doing this originally, but we've moved to the Cambridge Bank. It's a little more intimate. We can get people singing better. And there they are with their programs, just following along. We do have a couple of these wonderful puppets that are part of the celebration.
And this is where the chorus is.
Oh, there we are.
And tell us about the chorus, and maybe there are some viewers who would like to join that.
The chorus is open to anybody. That's them back there, and there may be 70 or 80 singers. If you're interested, go to our website. We'll give you the URL in a minute, but go to the website and follow the links to River Sing, and where it says join the chorus. Go ahead and follow that and sign up and tell us who you are, and then come to the one rehearsal, which is Thursday night, the 20th of September, 7 to 9 in Watertown Square, where our office is. And just that one rehearsal will get you up there. We just want to make sure we're singing the same songs, the same version of all the same songs, and same harmonies and same words, because when you get into folk material, everybody's got a different version, as you know.
And then, of course, it's not just the chorus there that sings, but everybody sings along and has the words. Oh,
absolutely. Yeah, it's not a performance. It's all those folks out there that you saw are out there singing away, and we're just leading the singing. The chorus is just leading.
And here we have you in your wonderful white...
Slightly out of focus. There I am.
But you're ringing the bell.
Oh, there I am. Yeah, I'm kind of lost in the crowd. But I'm ringing that terrific bell that you bought, ship's bell, which, by the way, we're using in the Christmas Revels this year because we're on a ship in the Christmas Revels, believe it or not. So there's our ship's bell. It's a terrific way to start and close the event. A beautiful thing.
And puppets, a lot of puppets around. So it's a great event to bring children. It's very festive.
Now,
Some people dance.
Yeah, oh yeah, they sure do. The puppets dance and other people do too. I mean, people do. There on the right is one of our poets reading some seasonal poetry, Keats, Shakespeare, Frost. And it's a nice interlude in between songs to have a couple of verses of poetry.
And most of the evening is just singing, but you have some people who will come. You have, I think, the DCR Commissioner Ed Lambert coming, and also the City Mayor of Cambridge, Henrietta Davis, to welcome the guests.
A couple of opening to open the event. We have a couple of welcomes from those, and our poet populist for the city of Cambridge, Tony B, will give us a poem written for the occasion.
For the occasion.
Yeah, she did the same thing last year. We have a new poem this year, so we're looking forward to that.
And you have some other guests also, some musicians who will be guests.
Well, there's those 3 band members, wonderful musicians, but we have guest singers who will lead the songs. David Coffin, who's our wonderful baritone soloist and multi-instrumentalist. He'll be there. Jamie Jaffe, who's a great old Revels singer. Milton Wright, who's well known through the New England Spiritual Ensemble and Black Nativity. He'll be there. Stan Strickland, who will not only play his saxophone but also sing a couple of solos on stage. More about him in a minute. Jenny O'Brien, who's a wonderful soprano from the Revels community. And I think that's probably everybody, unless I've forgotten. But we take turns. Oh, I know what. We have a wonderful children's chorus this year. We've never done that before. In addition to the adult chorus, you also have a 30-member children's chorus who will lead a couple of songs, like Michael Row the Boat Ashore. They'll sing Michael Row the Boat Ashore, and we'll sing back to them.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, so it'll be a lot of call and response with the children. That'll be fun. Yeah,
well, children love this event, and it's a great event because it's over by 7 o'clock, so they can be in bed for the next day.
Pretty much. We sort of shoot for 7:15, and people hang around till 7:30, but by 7:30, people are on their way home.
Yeah, and Memorial Drive is closed on Sunday, and
yes,
they keep it open. They keep it closed longer so that we don't have the noise of cars. So it's a very special. Now, as you see, the night is falling, and people just barely can read the music, and then the lights go on the Weeks Bridge, and something pretty magical is happening.
Right. Toward the end of after the sun sets, you see this boat, and you hear this boat coming down the river from the Lars Anderson Bridge.
From above. I think it's launched at the Cambridge Boat Club. Yeah.
And coming down very slowly, we have Stan Strickland. You can barely see him there, but you'll see him in a minute, standing up and playing his saxophone, his soprano sax, against a sun-moon boat. Now that's a sun when it's coming this way, and it's a moon when it's going the other way. There we go. So we have this, the dualism of the sun and the moon, just as we have the dualism of night and day, and we have the dualism of the summer and the fall taking place. So he plays, and while he's playing, we're singing a river hymn, which I wrote for the occasion.
Yeah, that's a beautiful piece. And what's that? It's 5th year of the river hymn that you've, even more.
Probably, yeah.
You wrote this piece.
5th or 6th year.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody sings on the refrain, and the soloists sing on the verses, and in between every verse we have Stan coming out with an improvisation from the boat. So there's a real dialogue going on between the soloists and the chorus and and everybody singing.
Yeah.
And Stan on the boat. It's quite a beautiful moment.
It is truly magical. And then in the end, the moon and the sun with Stan Strickland on it, they just go back up the river, disappear into the dark, and then it's time to go home, and the autumn has started, the fall has started.
We have one final tune to send everybody home.
Yes.
Instrumental tune, but that's it. You're right.
Yeah, yeah. And we have a little video that we'll show in a moment, so you kind of get a sense of the music and the celebration. But as you all know, these things don't happen with support from various groups, and these are the sponsors: the Cambridge Arts Council, the Conservancy, the Mass Cultural Council, the Harvard Square Business Association, so all various sponsors. And then there is something very special this year. As you mentioned, George, this is the 9th year of River Sing, and there is a wonderful filmmaker by the name of Charles Mann, and he put together this DVD with the years 2004 to 2008 of the River Sings, and it's just an amazing celebration. You watch their singing and the celebrations, and you can get the copy of that at River Run Studios or through Amazon and get this film, and I can highly recommend it. It's really a joyous way to relive the River Sings. But the best thing is even still coming to the Parklands and sing with Master George.
Well, it's a piece of landscape art, if you will. It's very site specific because we're using the river, we're using the outdoors, and we're working with that environment to create this atmosphere. And it's not just about sitting down in any old park to sing songs. It really has to do with the river and the fact that there's people. The river is always moving past us. We have people on boats going up and down the river, and they're stopping to listen. There's something about the river which gives it a wholly different quality. So it's a phenomenon in itself, and I call it a piece of art because it's not just about singing. It's a very visual, kinetic moment.
So you have the river flowing by, and then you have a framework of mature trees, the sycamore trees, the oak trees that frame your stage. So we are really you're very much part of the river landscape, which makes it very magical.
And as you said, the Memorial Drive is closed, so that helps to cut the sound. It's not, you can still hear Starro Drive, but it's still beautiful to hear the silence that falls over the event. It's really very important.
Yeah, and if you want to learn more, the Revels, and I understand also the words are available on your website.
If you go to revels.org and go to the River Sing page and then follow the link to download lyrics, you can get those in advance. If you forget to do that, you can show up in the river and take a program and you'll be all set.
Wonderful. And I guess on this website people can also find out about the Christmas Revels and your summer celebration, the spring celebration. It's a beautiful website with a lot of images that really capture well your festivities. Yeah,
we have our Spring Sing exactly 6 months away from this River Sing fall celebration, 23rd of March. Marking the other equinox. So, but in between those two points, of course, we have the big Christmas Revels in Sanders Theater, 16 performances, opening on December 14th. Tickets on sale, I think, soon. So stay tuned.
Already selling Christmas Revels tickets. Wonderful.
They're very soon. Not quite yet.
Well, you want to make sure you get your tickets early because some performances sell out very quickly.
And this is an Irish-themed celebration, and there's a lot of interest in all things Irish. So I think that's going to be even more interest than usual.
Great. Well, in case you've just joined us, this is the Charles River Conservancy Parkland show, and you can see this show on YouTube, on the Conservancy's website, or through YouTube. And we have a little short film about Revels that also includes the music. So I'm going to play that now. And
yeah, this was something that we just put together recently. It's a collage of still photos with a lot of the songs that we do from year to year as a soundtrack.
All right.
Okay, here we go. It'll take a minute to boot up, I think.
Is that what it is? All right.
We'll see.
This is, I'm not sure whether...
All right, give it a second to load.
Give it a second.
That's what I think. Well, it says media not found, so I'm not sure, Renata, if we're going to be able to get that going or not.
All right.
Try it again.
Well, I'm not sure our technology, my knowledge of technology is good enough.
Well, all right, but if you go to the website, you can see this little slideshow and hear the songs yourself. I think maybe, as a matter of fact, if you just go right to the home page, I think there's a link to it.
Is a home?
Yeah, we've just put that up, and it's brand new, and we think it's beautiful. So
yeah,
and it'll give you a sense of what the music sounds like, and
give us some examples. You don't have to sing, but
right.
Give us some examples.
Want to sing. Don't we all want to sing?
Yes.
That's right. See, I believe that fundamentally we all want to sing. We all have our fears about singing, but you get into the right environment with people, and 1,000 people singing around you.
Yeah.
You feel safe,
yeah.
And I think a lot of people just need to feel safe before they can open up and sing.
Yeah.
And and they're familiar songs. They're in the right keys. They've got a nice accompaniment. You've got everything going for you.
Yeah.
And then I think people will actually let go of their fear of singing in public and actually join in. It doesn't matter whether they're on key or not. It's not even the point. The point is to just feel as though you're part of a big celebration.
I remember there was the film about Jack Langstaff, who founded the Revels, and it was in a local movie theater. And I think the film, the technical aspects of the film didn't work. And then somebody, it might have been you, said, well, I think Jack Langstaff, who was dead at that time, said, I think he would want us to sing. And nobody had music, you didn't have a piano, and people just started to sing.
Mm-hmm.
And there were maybe 300-400 people in that movie theater.
Yeah.
And we just went from song to song, and everybody felt, well, that was the spirit of Revels, the spirit of Jack Langstaff. And I think you were there leading, but everybody was very happy to sing.
Sure. Especially since they had nothing else to do except for wait for the film to be fixed.
Yes, and I think it did get fixed.
Well, so we start off with This Land Is Your Land, and we go to Michael Row the Boat Ashore, and River, a couple of Bill Staines songs. One of them is River, which a lot of people know. Another one is So Sang the River. We're going to have that David Coffin song, Sing to the Charles. We're going to do that again.
He wrote that poem.
Which I know was a very favorite of yours.
Yes. And did you write the music for that? Or?
No, he wrote everything.
That's
wrote
all everything. That's all David Coffin.
Yeah. And but mostly more familiar songs. Some they may be about the river and they may not. What are they all? Bring Me Little Water, Sylvie. Bring Me Little Water now. Not much to do with the river, but it's a lovely,
about water.
Great song to sing together. It's just a really fun song to do together.
Yeah.
And we end, down by the riverside, When the Saints Go Marching In, and
a lot of the songs
away.
Have, of course, are used, have been used in other contexts. I mean, the River Jericho, they have there's a lot of symbolism about the river. So many of these songs are known to large groups of people.
That's true. Yeah, we're going to do the Erie Canal this year when they let the kids lead that. That's a favorite. I don't know if people still sing the Erie Canal anymore, but I think it's just a beautiful old song and a great one for the children to lead. And it's not about a river, but it's close enough.
It's a body of water.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in a way, the Charles is a river, but it doesn't really flow. It's more like a lake. So in that sense, it is a non-moving body of water, but it glitters and it's very much there.
Sure is.
Yes.
I don't know if we're going to get a moonrise at the right time this year. One year it was just perfect. It just came right up at the exact right moment. We all looked up and said, "Oh, This is perfect. And then the geese come over
And-
on cue. The wild geese.
Well,
The Canada geese fly
and
over.
one year the geese flew underneath the arches of the Weeks Footbridge down.
Well, so they say, and I'd like to believe that, but it's hard. Did you see it?
Oh, I see.
Oh, you will
Yeah,
attest to
yeah.
that. Okay,
Oh,
all
yeah.
right. Well, that's all I need.
Yes, no,
Yeah.
that is. It was a very memorable moment.
Hmm.
Well, I guess just like with the film about Jack Langstaff, I think the technology is not quite with us, but I'm very glad you were here with us today,
Hmm.
George. Thank you
It's
very
always
much.
a pleasure to be here, Renata.
And I'm so happy that River Sing continues to get bigger and more beautiful. And so I hope you will join us. Bring your friends and family. Bring chairs, a blanket, and come and sing. Even if you think you are not a singer, you will enjoy it. And it's a very special occasion. Thank you very much, George, and thank you for
Thank
all
you,
you do
Renata.
for the Cambridge community, for the Greater Boston community, for creating traditions through song and dance. Is that your motto?
Close. Yes.
Close.
Yes. It might as well be. And because you have to include drama in there, story, because when we're in the Sanders Theater, we are a theatrical presentation. We're really a theatrical experience, although it's heavily laden with music. It's really a theater experience. So we always include that. But this is more song than it is theater, although you have to say that boat experience is quite theatrical. Really,
Great.
It's really something.
Well, good night, and thank you for being with us. And you can always join us on Wednesdays at 5:30 every other week. Thank you very much.